Look, it's very important for your ego to be hurt. It's a healthy thing. It's a sign of growth, right? Whenever you're growing, one of the things that happens is that the ego doesn't like too much growth. It likes the illusion of growth. So whenever you're growing, it'll stop its growth by making you think you are perfect, by making you think everything you are, you don't need to be anything better because you're perfect. And so it's important for the ego to be hurt because that's the only way for you to grow. For example, when I went to art school, my ego was shattered multiple times, times 10, because I saw myself around younger people. I'm thinking of that Asian girl named Makoto. Crazy. She was like a humanoid when it comes to painting. But seeing so many young people made me feel so insecure because they were better than me. And so I had to swallow that pain and paint and deal with the inferiority of it. And that inferiority made me better. It made me shatter my ego and grow from it. In relationships is how it is. When you're in a relationship, your ego is going to get hurt. And that's the only way for you two to grow and for them to like you more and for you to like them more. Why? Because there's going to be conflict. There's going to be conflict and you're going to have to tell them the bullshit that they're doing, and that's going to hurt their feelings. They may feel embarrassed. They may feel down. They may feel stupid. And depending on their ego, some people cannot tolerate feeling like that, cannot tolerate being told what to do by their partner, cannot tolerate being told that they're wrong in some area. And depending how they react is how their relationship is going to be. So let's talk about how they think when you hurt their ego, because this is very important. Your ego is going to get hurt. And how they react, how you react to your ego is going to be a reflection of the relationship. So look, two things happen. And now when I talk about ego, this is how it is, right? Anything that has to do with you. Hey, I don't like how you're always late. I don't like how I don't like you're dizzy. I don't like how you lay the holy dizzy down. I don't like that you're lazy when you're in bed, right? I don't like that the way you talk to me in front of my friends. These types of confrontation naturally comes with awkwardness. It's kind of awkward and you feel embarrassed. And some people just cannot take that. And it's very important you put your partner in that position to see how they're going to react. How do they react when their ego gets hurt? How do they react when you call them on their bullshit? The way that they react is in two ways. One, outpouring of sadness, shame, and low self-esteem and anger, right? Naturally, it will happen. Like they're going to feel bad about themselves. They're going to feel ashamed. And some people will feel angry and defensive. But a healthy person will feel embarrassed, will feel shame, right? Because those emotions, especially the feeling of shame, that emotion is important simply because when you feel shame, it causes you to self-reflect and it causes you to fix your mistakes, right? So everything that's suppressed, whenever you call them out on bullshit, which usually comes by hurting their ego, or maybe they see somebody else talking to you of the opposite sex and they feel insecure, or maybe they see somebody that of the opposite sex is paying attention to you and that makes them feel insecure. What will happen is that suppressed emotions that usually is suppressed because of the routine and the consistent validation that God damn, that shit is so loud, man. I'm trying to act like nothing's happening here. Fuck. Oh my fucking God, he snapped. He fucking snapped. We saw it. Record it, clip it, and send it to the world. I try to act like nothing was happening, people. Anyway, those emotions that get suppressed come out, right? And so you tend to see their true sides, their repressed selves, their impatience, their anger comes out, right? And so you're able to see who they really are. And if you're dating them and their ego gets hurt and they get uncontrollably aggressive, get away from that motherfucker. Get away from that person. You don't want to be with them, right? So remember, they're either gonna react, and the ego is gonna see you as an enemy, which will cause them to want to get revenge. In other words, you call them on bullshit, or even you cancel a date and it hurts their ego. And so what they'll do, they'll get angry because you hurt their ego, right? There are two things in the brain, right? You have something, the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is what tells you what to focus on. So there are two things that reticular activating system focuses on: whatever provides value and whatever causes danger and whatever could cause you to die, right? So it looks for danger and anything that provides value. So whenever you're something that is a danger, in other words, you hurt their ego, you harming them, lowering their self-image, it causes them to want to get revenge on you. So they might try to get revenge by being passive aggressive, canceling the next date. And if they're really, really, really toxic, they'll try to cheat on you. For example, if you cheat on your partner, they might forgive you, but they're still gonna want to get revenge on you. And so they'll justify you cheating by them trying to find a way to cheat on you, consciously or unconsciously. Or maybe you'll know it, or maybe you will know it. But the point is, they'll try to get even when you hurt their ego. And those are the dangerous people. You don't want to deal with those types of people. And you could tell who they are by one, they have a history of having a long memory. In other words, they've told you moments when they wanted revenge and waited a long time to get revenge. People will tell you those stories because they don't know how it links up to their character, and they don't know that you watch my channel. You know what I'm saying? Now, the next thing is that the ego will see you as their savior, right? Some people, when you hurt them, rather than try to get revenge, their self-esteem will cause them to see you and try to get your validation again. Right? They'll see you as their savior. Since you hurt me, since you took my self-esteem, that means you have my self-esteem and I want some of it back. Some people get revenge for it, or some people just try to get your validation, right? So what they'll do is that they'll seek healing through your validation, right? And now, people undulate in between these two reactions, and sometimes people do both reactions, and it's very normal for people to want to get your validation but secretly want to jab you in the back a little bit just to keep it even. And this is why whenever you hurt somebody's ego, call them out on their bullshit or whatever, or even say, hey, I don't like how you're doing, or I don't like how you're behaving, or you were rude to that waitress, I would prefer you apologize to them. I've done that once where she was bitch to the waitress, and the waitress was my friend. I don't go there. When I was younger, I dated some crazy people, man. Like the girl who banged up half of the football team. How the hell? Anyways, watch the video from yesterday. So some people react in both directions. You know what I'm saying? They secretly hate you for hurting them, but then their desire for validation will make them forget the feeling. That usually happens. But what will cause them to forgive you, and I say forgive, I mean forget, because it's natural for people to feel some resentment for you making them feel like shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? What you have to do is do an equal act of kindness. So if you call them on the bullshit, you say, okay, thank you so much. You know what? Let's go get dinner on me. That's an example. Or you know what? I made this for you, man, and I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you, and I understand this is uncomfortable, but thank you for listening. Or you give them a kiss, or you give them a hug and say, I really appreciate that you listen, and and anytime you need to tell me my bullshit, just let me know. You gotta, if you humble them, because you are humbling them, you gotta humble yourself too. And even the Bible talks about this, right? And this is very interesting verse on being humble. The Bible says this, and I say the Bible because it has some really good quotes. Humility is a fear of the Lord. It wages our riches and honor in life. Do nothing out of selfish ambition. Rather, in humility, value other above yourself. Not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interest of the other, right? Humble yourself before the Lord and he will uplift you. In other words, when you do this with people, you cannot seem like you're doing it from a place of superiority, or else they're going to want to get revenge, or else they're going to say, all right, motherfucker, you want to tell me what to do? You want to tell me my bullshit? I'm going to wait for you to fuck up. If you don't want any of that retaliation, you got to humble it yourself. So that's why when you do an act of coldness, you have to equal it with an act of kindness, because then you're just creating resentment. Like if you humble me, like I want you to humble yourself too. It's almost like when people are apologizing to you, right? Even though you didn't do nothing wrong, it's always better to also apologize, because if you don't apologize, they're gonna expect you to apologize. They're like, bitch, I apologize. Where's your apology? It's like this guy who I bought something from them it's a doctor, and I sent them the payment, and I sent it to the wrong person. Right? But I sent them the payment to confirm. And he said, yes, the money didn't arrive. And he was like, hey, the money didn't arrive. I'm like, I sent you the payment. Look, the confirmation. And he was like, but that's not the right person. But I'm like, oh shit, my fault. Oh shit. He was like, can you send me the payment? I'm like, but I sent it to the wrong person. And you said it was okay. You didn't confirm it. Let's work something out. He was like, I know, but can you send me the full payment? I'm like, so you want me to send you the full payment without you even acknowledging your mistake? He was like, when are you going to send it? I'm like, oh, you fucking kidding me, you dumbass doctor? Okay, like, so clearly, so can you at least apologize? And he was like, no, I mean, you sent it to the wrong person. But I'm like, but you didn't confirm. And he was like, so are you going to send it? I'm like, okay, blocked. I'm like, I'm blocking you, motherfucker. Like, we're both losing here. You could have just, because that's how I am. You could have just apologized. You know, like, you could have been like, look, my fault. You're right. I should have checked. You know, it was my mistake. You know, I know you sent it. I just should have checked. And if you know me as a person, if you actually know me, you know I'll swallow something. Well, pause, motherfucker. Pause. Fucking it came out again. You know I'll swallow it. Jesus Christ. You know I'll take the hit. No, even that. Right? You know I would have given him the money, but it's the fact that he was so hard-headed that he didn't want to humble himself with me. Motherfucker, this is not a one-way street. Where are we at? Like, we in China? No. So you got to make sure that if you do this, you got to humble yourself in front of them to avoid any retaliation. And the next time they do it, then you got to lead by example and also be humble so that when it's your turn, they also do that. And that's how you keep a healthy relationship, right? But the ego will be hurt when you're with someone. It's going to be hurt because you have to print all of the negative sides of you. And that usually comes through hurting the ego, removing the parts that hurt. And over time, you'll be left with a tree that has a beautiful standing, whatever you call that tree that has always been printed, right? So yeah, once they recover, right? Once you do this, once you humble yourself and give them warmth after coldness, what happens is that their true emotions that they feel about you become intensified. If they actually liked you, they'll like you more. If they secretly don't like you, they'll hate you even more, and you'll see it in the way that they behave. And so that's when you gotta pull that trigger and kick them out, you know? But this process of ego hurting, recovering, humbling, and then ego hurting, recovering, humbling will slowly like it's almost like you're sculpting a new person. You're sculpting a beautiful relationship through this method. You know, it's really one of the best methods to create a strong bond, but it requires humility on both sides. This is why if you hurt their ego, it's not a bad thing. That's how you know who they really are through their reaction. Anyways, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to myfoottraction.org. My ego has been hurt multiple times, man, honestly. And, you know, I like to think that I learn from my mistakes. I like to think that if you call me out on my bullshit, you will not see me hesitate, accept it, because I'm full of shit sometimes, and I need to be told what to do. In fact, I like it when people call me out on my bullshit. Honestly, I really do, because it shows me that you care. You care enough to tell me, man. I mean, come on, man. Like, you could have just left, but you cared enough to tell me the problem. I find that to be a privilege. That to me, for a human being to take time out of their day when they could have just left and want to work it out with me. I mean, come on, man. Like, we should appreciate each other because time is very short. You know what I'm saying? And when we look back, all of these little fights that we have, we're going to smile and say, oh my God, that was life. I just thought that was a shitty period, when in reality, that was life. And we just took it for granted. Man, I don't know. That's just... Like, right now, this is life. You can't expect to live tomorrow, you know? Meditate, man. Meditate is so much... Life is so much better when you meditate. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. I've been happy lately, man. Even though I'm getting kicked out of my apartment. But it's because my meditation practice has been pretty intense. And it pretty much correlates with your self mood. Bye-bye. Take care. All right, guys. We're going to have a brief intermission so that I could tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing, where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my folk dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club videos that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at 238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared, because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.